This video is on functionalities for non-resident taxpayers on the e-filing portal. Income tax law applies to Indian residents and includes non-residents under its scope for income tax filing in some cases. While income earned abroad is generally not taxable in India for non-residents, they must pay tax on the applicable income tax rates on income derived from Indian sources, for example, capital gains from mutual funds in India, interest income on fixed deposits in India, rental income from property in India, etc. However, income tax rates and the rules for tax payment are subject to change from time to time. In this video, we shall cover how to check residential status on the e-filing portal, how to update the non-resident status on the e-filing portal, what are the tax filing requirements for non-residents, and the frequently asked questions on taxation of non-residents in India. Let us first see how do we check residential status on the e-filing portal. In order to check the residential status, you are required to go to e-filing portal www.incometax.gov.in. On the home page, click Login. You can enter your permanent account number, that is your PAN number, as your user ID and then enter your password. However, you may also access your e-filing portal through net banking. Post login, the non-resident can go to My Profile by clicking on the arrow next to the name and then click on My Profile. On the My Profile page, in the Personal Details section, you can check the residential status. In case you wish to update the non-resident status on the e-filing portal, you are required to click on the Edit button on the Profile section in the Personal Details. You can update the residential status by answering the question, do you have a valid passport number? If the answer to the same is yes, you can enter the passport number and then you can select the radio button for the residential status and then click on Save. Please note, to update the residential status in the PAN database, non-residents are advised to approach the jurisdictional assessing officer. The jurisdiction details can be accessed through the My Profile section on the left-hand side of the page. Let us now understand the tax filing requirements for non-residents in India. As a non-resident, any income generated in India attracts tax in India. It is therefore important to understand what is taxable income in India and what is non-taxable income. Please note, salary received in India or salary for service provided in India, income from a house property situated in India, capital gains from equity, mutual fund or a real estate investments in India, income from fixed deposits or interest on savings bank account in India, pension income received from Indian sources are some of the examples of taxable income in India. However, income earned outside India or interest on an NRE account or FCNR account are some of the examples of non-taxable income in India. Filing of an income tax return for non-resident in India is not limited to those meeting taxable income thresholds. It is an essential part of staying compliant with the non-resident tax in India. Even if total income is below the taxable limit, non-residents are advised to file the income tax return for claiming TDS refunds. That means if tax has been deducted at source on any income in India, such as rent or interest, non-residents can claim a refund of TDS by filing the income tax return. Also, if the non-resident has sold any property or investments in India, it triggers capital gains tax. The capital gains tax can also be declared only by filing the income tax return. It is also important to note that holding assets of financial interest in India may require disclosure under the Income Tax Act or under FEMA guidelines. So therefore, it is compulsory for a non-resident to file income tax return in India if the income in India exceeds a threshold in a financial year, which means that if the income in India exceeds rupees 2.5 lakhs in a financial year, it requires tax filing in India. Also, if the non-residents are holding assets in India, they must ensure tax compliance, particularly under FEMA regulations. Therefore, if taxable income is below the threshold, filing an income tax return for non-resident can help establish financial credibility and simplify fund repatriation from an NRO savings account also. An indicative list of the applicable TDS rates and the type of income has been provided for the reference of the TDS rates to the non-residents. For example, if the non-resident is earning from investments like interest and dividends, applicable TDS rate shall be 20%. For long-term capital gains under Section 115E, the applicable TDS rate is 12.5%. For long-term capital gains from listed shares and equity mutual funds, the TDS rate applicable depends upon if the transaction is made before 23rd July 2024, the TDS rate applicable was 10%, but if the transaction is made on or after 23rd July 2024, the TDS rate as applicable is 12.5%. For any other types of long-term capital gains, the rate of TDS is 12.5%. For short-term capital gains from securities held by foreign institutional investors or specified funds, the applicable TDS rate is 20%. For interest paid by government or Indian entities on foreign currency loans, royalty payments, and fees for technical services made by government or Indian companies, the rate of TDS applicable is 20%. For any other category of income, the applicable TDS rate is 30%. For filing the income tax return, a non-resident should have necessary documents at hand to ensure accurate and efficient processing. Some of these documents are the details of PAN card, passport, Form 16 if the non-resident is employed in India, bank account details, property documents if the non-resident owns any property in India, rent receipts if such property has been rent out, investment statements, and the foreign income details. Let us now see step by step how do we file the income tax return for a non-resident. First of all, it is important to determine the residency status. The residency status depends upon whether the person qualifies as a non-resident under the Income Tax Act based upon the number of days spent in India during the financial year. After having established the residency status, the non-resident is required to choose the correct income tax return form. ITR 2 shall be applicable to those non-residents who are earning income from salary, property, capital gains or other sources. However, for those earning income from business or profession in India, only ITR 3 shall be applicable. After determining the applicable income tax return, the non-resident is required to compute the taxable income and also to calculate the deductions available under Section 80C and 80D. Please note, interest earned from an NRO savings account is fully taxable, whereas interest from an NRE account is tax-free. The non-resident can thereafter calculate the tax liability, and in case any taxes are liable to be paid, the non-resident is required to pay the taxes. However, if excess TDS has been deducted, non-resident can also claim a refund by filing a tax return. Please note, income tax return can only be filed online by visiting the e-filing portal www.incometax.gov.in, and it is also very important to note that post submission of income tax return, a non-resident is required to e-verify the return via Aadhaar OTP, net banking, or by sending the signed copy of ITR-V to CPC Bengaluru office. To know more on how to file the income tax return, you may refer to how to file ITR videos. Let us now see some of the important considerations while filing the income tax return. When as a non-resident you are filing income tax return in India, please note the taxes are calculated based on standard slabs. However, non-residents may not enjoy certain deductions under Chapter 6A which are available only to residents. Some of the deductions allowable to non-residents are further detailed in this video. The applicable tax rates for non-residents under new and old tax regime are available for relevant assessment year on the e-filing portal. On the home page, the non-resident can click on Individual or HUF and then go to the non-resident section. Please note, TDS is applicable to NRO savings account interest at the rate of 30%. Also, please ensure that the income tax return is filed on or before the due date, that is 31st July, or an extended due date as applicable for relevant assessment year. This will help to avoid penalties later. Deductions under Section 80C and 80D are allowable in the old tax regime to the non-residents. Section 80C provides the maximum deduction of Rs 1.5 lakhs on premium on life insurance, equity-linked savings scheme investments, and home loan repayments, to name a few. Section 80D allows deduction on premium paid on health insurance and other health reasons. Non-residents are also eligible to claim the benefits under Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement, as India has signed DTAA agreements with several countries. This means non-residents can offset taxes paid in the country of residence against their Indian tax liability. However, while planning to file an income tax return, it is advisable for non-residents to check the relevant double taxation avoidance agreements with the country of their residence. Some of the frequently asked questions by the non-residents are: which ITR form is most suitable for salaried non-residents with capital gains? Please note, ITR 2 is most suitable for salaried non-residents with capital gains from Indian mutual funds, stocks, or property. Some non-residents have also asked us, is Aadhaar mandatory for them to file income tax return? Please note, as per the latest regulations, non-residents are not required to have an Aadhaar number to file their income tax return or for claiming income tax refund. However, non-resident status must be updated both on the e-filing portal and also in the PAN database. Some non-residents have also asked that are they required to link Aadhaar with PAN? Please note, under Section 3 of the Aadhaar Act 2016, only a resident is entitled to get Aadhaar. Therefore, the provisions of Section 139AA of the Income Tax Act regarding linking of Aadhaar to PAN or the requirement of quoting Aadhaar number in the return shall not apply to a non-resident who is not eligible to get Aadhaar. Some of the non-residents have questioned that being a non-resident, their PAN has been made inoperative due to non-linking with Aadhaar. What should they do? If being a non-resident, your PAN is inoperative due to not linking with Aadhaar, you are advised to intimate your non-resident status to your respective jurisdictional assessing officer along with a copy of your PAN and any other document showing your non-resident status. For information regarding jurisdictional assessing officer, kindly visit e-filing portal homepage and post login go to jurisdiction details in the My Profile section. Some non-residents also have questioned that is a PAN card a proof of tax residency? Please note, a PAN card is a unique identification number for taxpayers in India but does not serve as a proof of tax residency. While it is essential for filing tax returns and other financial transactions in India, the tax residency certificate is an official document that certifies your residential status for all tax purposes. Some of the non-residents have also raised a query that they're getting an access denied error while logging through net banking. What could be the reason? Please note, access denied error is shown when the taxpayer is logging through net banking, but net banking is not nominated in any bank account, or if taxpayer has nominated one bank account and is logging through another bank account, or if the nominated bank account becomes invalidated for any reason or is closed. To know more, you may refer to our video on bank account validation. Filing an income tax return on the e-filing portal by a non-resident is very easy. To know more, you may visit our website www.incometax.gov.in or contact our helpline numbers.